Hey, I'm John Lee, and this is Unboring History, the place where big names stop being statues and start acting human. Each episode, we take one real person and 10 facts most textbooks skip. I bring the stories. You bring the curiosity. Here's the man behind the monument. George Washington. First president, Revolutionary War general, 18th century Virginian with a stubborn streak and a talent for quiet experiments. You know the crossing of the Delaware. You've seen the dollar bill. But do you know about the Spanish donkey, the whiskey empire, the spy ring, or the dog he sent back under a flag of truce? Stick with me. Fact 1, not wooden teeth. The myth is tidy. Reality isn't. Washington's dentures were not wood. They were crafted from human and animal teeth set into ivory or metal, sometimes with hippopotamus ivory and steel springs. By 1789, he had a single natural tooth left. Imagine leading a revolution while your jaw throbs, fittings chafe, and every speech risks a wince. He paid skilled dentists, logged appointments, and kept going. Pain shadowed triumph. He refused to bow. That matters. It reframes the marble hero as a man who planned campaigns while managing constant discomfort. Grit, not legend, carried him. The leadership often hurts, and he led anyway. Fact 2, whiskey distillery boss. Mount Vernon wasn't just porches and orchards. In 1799, 5 copper stills roared beside Dogue Run. Output? About 11,000 gallons in a single year, mostly rye whiskey with a touch of peach brandy. Washington didn't stir every mash. He hired James Anderson, a Scots distiller, invested in water power and grain, and scaled like a businessman who could read a ledger. Why does it matter? Because it punctures the reluctant planter-only story. He tested ideas, measured results, and moved capital fast. Principle and profit can share a desk. Yep, the first president knew markets, and he wasn't shy about building. Fact 3, America's mule evangelist. Horses looked heroic. Mules did the work. Washington understood that. In 1785, he received a Spanish jack, royal gift, from the Spanish crown's envoy and began breeding. The results were steady animals with long lives and stronger backs. They ate less than horses and pulled more. Farms noticed. So did quartermasters. Within seasons, his breeding program seeded a shift across the mid-Atlantic and beyond. Is it glamorous? Not really. Is it nation-building? Absolutely. Quiet upgrades move history as much as speeches. The takeaway? Washington's eye for useful innovation, mules over romance, shows a leader who valued what got the job done. Fact 4, the Army inoculation order. Smallpox haunted the camps. In winter 1777, mortality rate soared and the rebellion wobbled. Washington had survived the disease after a 1751 trip to Barbados. He knew its bite. On February 5, 1777, he ordered variolation, an early form of inoculation for the Continental Army. Risky? Yes, the procedure itself could sicken men. But the math checked out. Infections plunged, units recovered, the Army kept fighting. Some protested on moral grounds. Others feared spies. He moved anyway. Leadership is a clock, not a lounge. He beat the disease to the punch and saved the war's spine. So bold medicine preserved a revolution. Fact 5, spy master in plain sight. Swords flash. Intelligence wins. In British-held New York in 1778, Washington greenlit the Culper Ring. Major Benjamin Tallmadge ran the network. Agents used code names, numbers, and sympathetic stain, an early invisible ink devised by Dr. James J. Couriers rode back roads. Reports tallied regiments, ships, and plans. Pieces clicked at Yorktown in 1781 when French timing and American patience snapped the trap. Did the ring do everything? It sharpened decisions when guesses might cost men their lives. Washington prized good information more than good slogans. Before the fireworks, he built a signal in the noise. That's how you win. Fact 6. The General and the Dog. Germantown, October 4th, 1777. Smoke. Confusion. A small terrier wanders into American lines. The collar reads, General Howe. Washington could keep the dog. He does the opposite. He sends it back under a flag of truce with a courteous note. The firing pauses. Officers nod. Why dwell on a dog? Because it shows discipline when rage would be easy. Manners in war aren't decoration, they're strategy. Reputation buys time, trust, and terms. Washington guarded his. The takeaway: character is a tool, not a costume. He used it in battle as carefully as he used cavalry and scouts. Fact 7. Ice cream, soft power. No freezers, no compressors. Still, ice cream at presidential levees in the 1790s, Washington built icehouses at Mount Vernon, packed winter blocks in sawdust, and served frozen desserts in Philadelphia. Guests noticed. They tasted competence in a spoon. Was it luxury? Sure. It was also logistics, chemistry, and stagecraft. He signaled stability without speeches and showed a young nation could host with grace. People remember how you made them feel. They recall the calm, the order, the quiet confidence. George understood optics long before the word existed, and he plated them with a silver spoon. Fact 8. Surveyor to strategist. Start with a teenager and a compass. At 17, Washington surveyed for Lord Fairfax in the Shenandoah Valley. He learned ridgelines, river crossings, and how fog lies to the eye. He slept rough, kept notebooks, and mapped opportunities. Later, he bought what he knew, tens of thousands of acres across Virginia, Pennsylvania, and the Ohio country by the 1790s. Critics said speculation. He said vision. On campaign, he read ground like print. He moved when terrain and timing aligned, not when a calendar did. Knowledge gathered on foot became leverage on horseback. The map in his head won battles. Fact 9. The hemp reality check. Context first. In the 1760s and 1770s, Washington planted cannabis sativa at farms like Muddy Hole. Purpose: rope, twine, sailcloth, industrial fiber for a world of rivers and rigs. He tracked sowing dates and yields. There's no evidence of recreational use. It was a practical crop in a maritime economy. Why include it? Because it reminds us that early America ran on materials, not magic. Fields fed ships, ships fed trade, trade fed the republic. The myth is loud. The ledger is quiet. The takeaway: he farmed for utility. He grew what moved goods, not headlines. Fact 10. A difficult will. This part is hard and necessary. Washington enslaved people for most of his life. In July 1799, he signed a will that freed those he personally owned. One man, William Lee, immediately. The rest after Martha's death. She accelerated the timeline in 1800. He also directed funds for education and support for the young and elderly. He could not free the dour individuals controlled by the Custis estate. That limit stands. Does it absolve him? You know the answer. It shows a late, deliberate step inside a broken system. George Washington used his final power to change what he could. And that's the story. Which moment made you go, wait, really? Tell me below and suggest the next guest. If you're in, tap like and subscribe. See you next time.